long-term investigation, it shall continue. But today's target is a group known as the Wild 100s.
Chase a nigga down with this chop into the whip tip. 100 niggas all on one block and you ain't hit shit.
Charges is Joel Blake, identified by the informant as the shooter and described by detectives as being associated with the Wild 100s, a violent street gang in Milwaukee.
I bring that Glock out. I guess I gotta show these niggas what I'm about. Fire bomb through the window, clear the whole house.
Every single day, he took a trip to this Domino's to buy pizza for kids in the community. Yesterday, he got shot during that trip.
What's up, family? Welcome back to Midwest Rumors, man. We doing another one today, man. So make sure you get in here, roll something up, right? Get comfortable and overdo your part on that like button, man. Y'all still be slacking a little bit. And subscribe to the channel. Stop being a hater, man. And tap all the way in, because today we get into one of the most ruthless gangs in Milwaukee, Shark Gang, aka SNG.
But today's target is a group known as the Wild 100s.
Mob, oh, it's the mob, nigga. It's one of Shark, Wild Honey Shark Gang, bitch.
With the sharks, man. We live, man, direct around this bitch.
I'm in traffic with the killers, they gon' wipe a nigga nose. Hey, straight cap, boy, rap these niggas hoes. Got the money in the bag, hurry up, it's time to go. This nigga talking.
Been investigating them since September, when it became clear to us that the crimes that they were involved in were not episodic and disjointed, but part of a network of crimes committed by a large number of loosely affiliated individuals.
Now, Shark Gang have been a solidified set on the northwest side of Milwaukee for over a decade, and was basically a subset from a hood they called the Wild Hundreds, which was located over in the Mill Road area off Jones Street, basically like 101st all the way down to 107th Street, you feel me? All them low income townhouses that was over there, right? That's what they called the Wild Hundreds. It ain't have nothing to do with Chicago at all, man, because a lot of people believe Chicago dudes that migrated to Milwaukee created the name, when in all actuality, they got the name for stealing cars, breaking into houses, shootings and shit like that. This was way before they graduated into scamming and murders and all of that shit, you know what I'm saying? You had dudes over there like Mike G, Action, K Money, you feel me? Just to name a few, who have been over there since they was youngins and had grown to be products of their environment, basically carrying guns, hustling, beefing, like all of the little dudes over there. You know, it all goes hand in hand, and a lot of times it can lead to an early demise, man, right? And a hustler from the Wild Hunters, like I said, named K Money, would learn this the hard way after he was swiped the number of a dude named DeMarquay Cohill, aka DC, who was a vicious member of a Milwaukee gang called Blessed Team.
Have in mind, y'all, get you down. You the one she tell, with me she come. You can't name a nigga with two legs, I run from. You was all in that black and white like you red runs.
Now, he would swipe DC's number after his girl posted his number on Facebook, and K Money basically knew DC was getting some pay. It was a known fact that Blessed Team dudes had a crazy D line over there, man. Over there around 21st and Keith, you know what I'm saying? The boys was getting some money over there. They had it pumping. So when she posted the number, he got it switched to his phone so all of the fiends can call him. So when DC going around, he trying to make his plays and shit, he pulling up on fiends. Fiend told him, like, listen, K Money that came over here, blase splee. You feel me? They letting him know who swiped his number. So DC decided to slide and would catch K Money lacking outside his crib and start blowing at him, but he would get away, right? So these dudes would come back the next day, man. You know what I'm saying? 3 deep with automatic rifles, and would unload on the duplex that K Money was staying in, but would hit the wrong part of the duplex, wrong side of the house, man. And they would end up unaliving the toddler who had been playing in his living room.
It's on this block of townhouses that we can see police markings of more than 20 shots fired from the street. It's right over here at this home, and the homeowner tells us that children were playing inside. Now, we spoke exclusively with the owner of the home tonight. He tells me that there were 8 or 9 people in his home, including 4 children, around 6 o'clock. The kids were playing in the living room when shots came flying inside. An adult yelled for the children to get down, but it was too late for that 1-year-old boy. He was conscious and breathing as he was rushed to Children's Hospital, but his condition right now is unknown. The owner tells me he believes the shooting's a case of mistaken identity and that a home behind his was shot at just last night.
Underway for a man accused of killing a 1-year-old child in Milwaukee. Last year, on the day before Christmas, baby Bill Tao was killed while playing in his family's living room. DeMarque Cohill is on trial for reckless homicide. Prosecutors say Cohill tried to retaliate against a rival drug dealer. A witness who admitted using heroin and taking Cohill to the house testified in court.
You asked him what had happened or why anything happened over at that location? Not that I recall. I just remember my bad part.
Did you see Mr. Cohill with a gun?
No.
Did he say, we're going to go shoot this place up?
No.
We're going to go shoot this guy?
No.
The trial is expected to last throughout the week. If convicted of all charges, Cohill could face as long as 10 years in prison.
Shit was crazy, bro, and I send my condolences and my respects to that family, man, because they didn't have nothing to do with this, bro. I couldn't even imagine the pain of losing my child, bro, as he just minded his business playing and bullets come flying through the house, man. It's just crazy, right? But anyway, man, K-Money would be picked up and would tell everything that happened because he was trying to get off on a separate shooting case that took place months prior near 51st and Dean and Brown Deer, right? When a vehicle pulled next to a parked car and opened fire on the occupants. Lucky nobody was hit, but they still wanted to book him and was trying to get him to, you know what I'm saying, tell what happened. He would tell about the recent shooting, hoping that it'll get him off that case, but it ain't work. You know what I'm saying? He told for nothing, and then gonna try to take his statement back once he got to court and up on the stand. Like, nigga, no, man, get your silly ass up out of here, man. You're done. But like I said, as they got older, the dudes over there in the Wild Hundreds, they would form the Shark Gang shit, and they would get into rapping and would produce one of the hottest rappers in the city, man, named Lil Action.
Bitch, I ain't seen that shit since 09. I can take a flight to the A and spend a whole dime. I can send a bitch in the bank, commit a whole crime. While I'm on the stage, phone them scrapped in here the whole time. Nigga around this bitch who don't believe in the shooting. Bitch gave me everything like I believe in you.
You believe me, bitch? Bitch, give it to me. Give it here. You make a hoe, break, give every penny.
Say shit. You ever seen some youngins popping out of spaceship? Fox 6 news clips get a facelift. And I'm posted on this block where it ain't safe at.
And like I said, he had been around the Wild Hundreds since he was a jit, man. He had songs with Chicken P. He had songs with Sleazy World Gold. He had songs with Mike. All 3 buzzing hard artists in the Midwest, bro. They all got a name. They all got motion. And they all pretty decent when it comes to the music shit. So when him jumping on songs with them, it kind of blew him up a little bit. Not to mention, bro was kind of raw with it, for real. He had the bars, he had decent cadences. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't just stuck on drill time. You feel me? He actually make songs that didn't involve a bunch of sliding and killing. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, them boys in the Wild Hundreds was kind of getting some paper too. So it wasn't all murder, kill, right? Lil Action would come out around 2011, 2012, and to be honest, he was doing good numbers himself on YouTube to be a local artist, and he was one of the first rappers to really catch motion when it came to Shark Gang and the Wild Hundreds. Now, like I said, these boys would graduate from burglaries and car theft and grand theft auto to big scams and hits. This would be one of the reasons they would eventually be indicted, right? Because these boys was touching hundreds of thousands of dollars, man, fucking with that PPP shit, right? According to federal documents, they got hit with 43 counts, bro. We talking mail fraud, PPP loans, machine gun sales, drug trafficking, everything. Not to mention, like I said, these dudes was doing a little too much shooting because after an SMG member headstone was damaged by rivals, right? His name was Lawrence Hamilton. That's what it said in the paperwork. Lawrence Hamilton, a well-known affiliate of the Wild Hundreds. right, who had been gunned down in 2019. He had a lot of love and respect within the gang. So I'm guessing like ops went over there, you know, trolling to messed up his headstone, messed up his grave sites. You feel me? And it got disrespectful, so they decided to slide. But they wasn't going to mess up no headstones, man. They decided to take it a little bit deeper. They like, since y'all getting disrespectful, we about to get more disrespectful, right? And they would slide on the funeral of Braxton Taylor, a well-known associate of their ops, and they are spraying the crowd, hitting 7-8 people out there, man.
Motive behind a number of homicides and shootings over the past 2 years. And as Fox 6's Bill Miston explains, a gang feud started in part because of the desecration of a gang member's grave.
Back in September 2020, mourners were gathered here at this funeral home near 43rd and Townsend. Police say it was that ongoing feud that ended with 7 people being shot and wounded. Now, newly uncovered court documents reveal what started that feud and where that investigation led federal agents, including looking into bank and wire fraud. Shattered glass in a bullet-riddled funeral parlor. 7 people injured in the hail of bullets. Mourners were there for the funeral of 26-year-old Braxton Taylor. Court documents say he was a member of a Milwaukee street gang. Now, newly unsealed court documents say the shooting stemmed from an ongoing feud between that gang and another that started a year earlier. It was January 2019 that 26-year-old Lawrence Hamilton, a known gang member, was shot and killed. His grave later desecrated by a rival gang. Investigators say the desecration of Hamilton's grave and memorial is what started the violent feud. Milwaukee police say his murder and the funeral home shooting are still unsolved. Since federal court documents say multiple homicides, shootings, and illegal possession of machine guns are suspected to be associated with the ongoing gang feud. The gangs have been under investigation by the ATF, Milwaukee police, and FBI since February of last year.
Now, this will have every law enforcement agency in the city on their head because, like I told you, these boys had got that money and got treacherous. And they had just recently, you know what I'm saying, shot up a funeral and hit 7 innocent people that was standing out there, right? Like, this shit, it was getting out of hand, bro. And y'all know, the FBI let it go down. They'll sit back and they'll build a case, right? Because another hit would take place after 2 Shark Gang members, Ronell Bowman and Ronnie Jackson, would use stolen PPP relief funds to arrange and pay for the murder of rival gang member MB. You know what I'm saying? That's what his name in the indictment. They ain't never say his name or give us, you know what I'm saying, too much on him. They just said it was MB. Them was the initials, right? And in 2021, MB would be brutally gunned down. You feel me? The FBI would be sitting in the cut watching and waiting all of this shit, right? Now, Ronell Bowman and Ronnie Jackson, them was 2 solidified members that was affiliated with the Wild Hundreds, Shark Gang. They was known to get money. They was known to bust their gun. You know what I'm saying? And they was known to put that money on your head if it got a little bit too disrespectful. And that's what they was doing. Anytime they had a problem, they was throwing that paper out there, getting niggas touched around the city, man.
All y'all shit smacking right now, dog.
It's a light show.
It's a motherfucking light show. You gotta turn on lights on. We got that ice on.
Do you want the Hennessy Red Bull with ice?
You can make some.
Got the camera rolling. This shit together, man. This together, man. This shit fun. This shit together.
You know what I'm saying? We in Cali with it. You know what I'm saying? We in Cali with it, nigga. We coming, nigga. SCG the mob. Gang. Mob ties, nigga. You know we coming free tang, nigga. Free stand-up, man. You understand what I'm saying? He gotta be like this, look, hair party. Oh, rain today, big dog. This motherfucker drip, man. This is 12.
And according to paperwork, MB was one of them rival gang members they wanted out of the way. So they would contact shooters and basically put it out there, and he would ended up getting took out not even a week later, man. And you know the FBI sit in the cut like I told y'all, watching, waiting, plotting, planning for the perfect time to strike, right? This is what they do to these dudes, man. You know they allow these goofies to run rampant all over the city, committing homicides, robberies, all type of shit before locking their ass up, because they would be investigating another murder for hire, right? This is all in the documents, man. They would be investigating another murder for hire that happened a month before. It says around September 21st, right? Now, this would shock the city because the man involved just so happened to be a positive mentor and barber in the community by the name of Dominic Carter.
This is 35-year-old Dominic Carter. He was a father to 7 and an entrepreneur. He was murdered in a pizza shop just feet away from his barber shop. Carter owned hair trappers in Milwaukee's northwest side. He would host mentor programs for kids to teach them his skill and encourage them to become entrepreneurs themselves.
You know, so that way they would stay out the streets and have a tool, a trade that they can do.
Every Sunday he would bring boys and come and clean up the parking space, and he buy pizza for them. He was a good person.
To the surrounding community, he was a gift.
He knew the word. You know, he knew the streets, but he also knew the word. There was a calling on his life, you know, something that God wanted him to do, and he was doing that in his way.
Was a brazen daytime killing, 3:12 on a Thursday afternoon. A gunman walked into the Domino's on North Lovers Lane and opened fire. The target, Dominic Carter, a father, mentor, and popular barber whose shop was just feet away. In search warrants unsealed this week, detectives told a judge surveillance video shows the gunman fire the first shot at Carter's head, adding the victim falls to the ground, likely already deceased, and the suspect continues to fire shots into his body. Those same records also suggest the killer was motivated by money, as much as $10,000. According to the records, an informant told investigators the hit was solicited by a man over an unsettled feud between him and the victim, and the person was willing to pay someone a sum of money for killing Carter. Detectives also uncovered an anonymous call from months earlier reporting the same man was soliciting someone to kill 2 people for $10,000. But so far, that man has not been charged. The one person who is facing charges is Joel Blake, identified by the informant as the shooter and described by detectives as being associated with the Wild 100s, a violent street gang in Milwaukee. According to the records, the informant told investigators Blake was heard bragging about the hit, asking, "Do you think he died on the 3rd shot to the head or the 1st?" The records show investigators discovered Blake boarded a plane bound for Las Vegas the morning after the murder to meet the person who hired him. Police would then discover social media posts between the two displaying large amounts of cash. Investigators writing, "This meeting in Las Vegas is less than 24 hours after the killing, and it's reasonable to conclude this Vegas meeting was for the purpose of compensating Blake for killing Dominic Carter."
Now, Dominic, like I said, was a mentor for the youth and had owned multiple barbershops in the Milwaukee area called hair trappers, right? Now, according to reports, a hit would be placed on Dominic for $10,000, and Joel Blake, a ruthless, well-known shark gang member from the Wild Hunters, would be hired to commit the homicide. Some say it was over money, some say it was over a female. Them just the sources. I'm not sure which one because I've got both answers. I don't know exactly why the hit was put on Dominic, right? Because from what I read, he wasn't a gang member. You feel me? Just really a businessman and a mentor for the youth. So he couldn't be, you know what I'm saying, involved in too much. But you never know for real, bro. He could have had his hand in some shady business. He could have been dealing with a female that had a jealous husband or boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? He could have had his hands in the drug game. Could have gotten into an argument with somebody, disrespected somebody, bro. You would never know. You get what I'm saying? But anyway, right? This dude, Joel Blake, basically took the hit, right? And he would be circling the block, circling around the barbershop, basically waiting for Dominic Carter to come out, right? And when Dominic Carter came out, he would start walking towards the Domino's Pizza that was located down the street from his barbershop, right? And when he went in, waiting for his food, Joel Blake will run in there and open fire, hitting Dominic over 5 times, man. Even hitting him like 2-3 times in the head, stood over him and everything before he fled the scene. And to be honest, the police wouldn't have no leads at the beginning, right? But like most of these chatty patty clout demons, right? Yes, chatty patty clout demons, right? He couldn't help himself but to brag about the murders, right? According to documents, right? Now, informants also would call in and let detectives know that Joel Blake had been basically going around bragging about how many times he shot Dominic in the head. saying, do y'all think he died off the first headshot or the second headshot? You know, laughing, feeling itself, man. Searching for that validation and that acceptance, right? Real A1 cornball cheeseburger. You get what I'm saying? Real cheeseburger shit, man. Not to mention he on Facebook yapping, taking pics in Vegas, where he went and picked up the money according to police, right? They said he would be on Facebook posting money, that he was he had went to Vegas to pick up the money from the suspected co-conspirator. Man, they had all type of shit on this dude. And like I said, he was on camera too, right? Not to mention that he was on camera seen circling the area before the shooting, right? He's done, man. Now, they never identified who placed the hit on Dominic, so I don't know who he is or where he from. But if y'all know, y'all jump in the comments, because I ain't get to find it. I couldn't find the paperwork on it. And if you from Milwaukee, tap in, because we got a lot more coming, man. We got a lot more coming, man, especially on the Wild Hunters, Shark Gang, Bless Team. Man, it's a bunch of little crews I want to get into and start shedding light on different situations over there, because this is Midwest Rumors, man. So we got to tap in everywhere, man. But I just had to get in here and basically give y'all a small little breakdown on the Wild Hunters, Shark Gang, so we can get more into the Milwaukee content. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all was messaging me about it, man. Do Shark Gang. What about the Wild Hunters? Do Milwaukee, you know? So we gonna start tapping into Milwaukee. Don't worry about it. We gonna get to St. Louis. We gonna get more into Ohio. You know what I'm saying? We gonna do our due diligence, right? Just stay tapped in. But this is just a small little episode, man. I had to put out here for y'all, man. Y'all know I like to drop consistently. So make sure y'all tap in, man. Hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up over there on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? We can discuss some things. If you got some requests for videos, just hit me up, bro. And we gonna definitely put it together, man. I reply back to everybody. I ain't no uppity nigga, man. But yeah, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe, man. And this was the story on the Wild Hunters, Shark Gang, SMG. It's Midwest Rumors. I'm out.